Hello, guys. Sorry, I was having a few issues getting my microphone up. Can you guys hear me all right? Can you guys see my screen? Awesome, awesome. All right, so for those of you, well, I see a lot of familiar faces here, but we've been having some sound issues with the stage channel in Discord, right? So if after a few minutes you sit, well, basically the best way I can describe it is it sounds like I am underwater. Please do let me know, and we will switch over to our other voice channel, which worked wonders last time. If it does still happen, I did contact Discord, but if it does still happen, I'll make some permanent changes. Hopefully we won't have to, because the stage looks nice and you guys don't have to auto mute and stuff, right? So hopefully we'll be able to fix that. I just wanted to give a little shout out first. But enough rambling, let's talk about the upcoming week. It's been a while since I've done an outlook after market open, but a little bit later today. Instead of 5, we're doing 8:30. Hopefully it's not too bad. Does that mean I'm underwater right now? I mean, that would be a great signal, Vito, to be honest. It would be perfect. All right, so yeah, we're making it official. You send that GIF, and it's gonna be perfect. All right, lock in. Time to lock in. Very straightforward week for me. I'm going to be completely honest. We had an extremely bullish Friday. I think I've talked about it specifically during the last price action review we did, right, where we looked at our two levels. We had a premium order block and the midpoint of said order block, which is a mean threshold. Now, Thursday for me was undecisive because we closed below my second level, which means that we are currently at this point respecting the order block. But thankfully, Friday gave me the confirmation I need to now go into this week. And what is that? Well, we clearly closed through it very aggressively, closed through, previous day high as well, and are showing extreme signs of being bullish. Of course, there is currently SMT, right? We can see on ES, we still have yet to break the highs of Thursday, but I believe that we'll have in before the New York session where I won't be trading. For me, it is Monday with no news. But overall, very bullish price action. I wish there was more downside movement. I'm not going to lie to you guys at all. But as we can see on ES, we did take the level that we needed to take. I would have liked to see NASDAQ trade a little bit lower to these lows, but we do not have to. And now with this bullish price action, I'm just expecting a continuation of a bullish trend. So a very simple outlook. Basically, I will use the news to align myself with price, right? We have CPI on Tuesday. That is a very big news. And so I will be waiting until CPI. I will look at where it's extending. Of course, if we take this level, do not close through it today, and then tomorrow we have some bearish price action, well, I will be looking for a retracement. So we would see something like this, right? This kind of range form, and hopefully actually even better if we could see this fair value gap form in a discount, and then I could look for some retracements lower. But that will be the only bearish move I will be looking for. I won't be taking any intraday retracements unless there is a statistical framework behind it. If that word does not mean anything to you, statistical frameworks, the last PA review we did a 40-minute review where we even dove into rice statistics. It is definitely a very valuable piece of content. So I would recommend that everybody make sure they watch that. It is available in our resources section or just directly on YouTube. Very recent video. Overall, what I'm saying, what I'm expecting classic bullish week, what am I actually saying? I'm saying I want price to open, go and form a low early. So that's why I want to see CPI. We really do not have to trade down there unless we take this high first, right? So if CPI is bullish and we see that price extends through this level but does not close through it, then I'm going to be expecting some form of intra-week retracement with then a grind higher. But the best case scenario here would be that CPI on Tuesday forms the low, and then we can just see a classic bullish week where we just extend up until Thursday. and perhaps have some kind of Friday retracement. Right? This is mainly profiling, and this is something that I learned. What is his name? AM Trades is the first person who I actually saw talk about this, I believe. But when I was a beginning trader, he actually had a PDF, a document, where he outlined weekly profiles and stuff. And those aren't the ones that I personally use, not anymore. When I started off, they were super helpful. And I do recommend them to anyone having a hard time with predicting a week, for example. Because once you bring the news into context, you can actually be extremely accurate in predicting how the week will form. And then you add premium and discount levels like we have here. And all of a sudden, everything makes sense. Like, for example, as we just explained, because we closed through the midpoint of my order block, I am now expecting us to reach for the high of that range, which here, if we use his terms, just to give credit where credit is due, it is external range liquidity. So that is what I'm going to be looking for next. I would like for these levels to remain open until CPI. It would just make my week super easy, take an easy long to these levels and past. But we are trading at all-time highs. We are extremely bullish, and we are within volatility. Honestly, these last 2 weeks have been pretty amazing in terms of movement compared to the previous month of July, right? Which was just a little higher resistance, still had some great moves. So I'd like to see us continue this trend forward. If you guys need, well, basically we'll have 3 PA reviews this week. So we'll have plenty of opportunity to update our bias throughout the week. But for me, I'm always relying to the previous day high and low. That's the best way. And the day before as well. So seeing how we interact with these levels and look into the next day, if I can look for a retracement or I should look for a continuation. For example, after we take a candle like this and close through it with a lot of aggressivity and we are far from it, well, I'm definitely very bullish. So my bias going into the next day is going to be look for a small retracement and take a long. And no, it does not have to be more complicated than that. Here, let's say after we took this, right, we took that high and we traded very far above it and then retraced back down here. Well, we already did our retracement. So going into the next day, I can see, okay, aggressive close, continuation bullish. Very straightforward stuff. Now, of course, this is not a fail-safe logic, but in trending markets, I like to follow the trend and not trade against it. So being very picky with setups and only taking setups that are to my advantage. What does that mean? Well, I'm looking to long in a discount and I'm looking to sell in a premium. So am I going to be shorting at the high of this range? No, I'm going to be looking for long opportunities. But once we take out this level, then all of a sudden I can also look for retracement opportunities. I know I went a little detailed in that sense, but I don't want to just tell you guys what I'm looking for coming into the next week. Because the truth is, well, depending on what happens tomorrow, that might change, right? If Monday does this, and then if Tuesday does this, then going into the next day, I'm going to be looking for that. And of course, during our PA reviews, I always provide updates, right? And like, oh, well, going into tomorrow, that's what I'm going to be looking for, when you guys ask, of course. But I think it's very important for you guys to actually understand and have the tools available to you to make these adjustments, I guess is the best way to put it. So if you guys have some insights, you have some questions, I'm always there, quite happy to answer anything you guys may have. But you guys know, though, these outlooks, they're super quick because I keep it simple. The truth is, it does not need to be complex. It does not need to be complicated. I'm not seeing any of you guys type, so I'm guessing it was pretty straightforward. I did talk a lot about profiling very quickly there, but did not go into some great detail. All good for me, very clear, awesome. Thanks for your time, Ollie. Always a pleasure, always a pleasure. All right, well, pretty straightforward. I mean, I feel bad. We're under 10 minutes here, but I think we covered everything. So we're going to call it a night here. As I said, we're going to have 3 PA reviews this week. We're going to see each other Tuesday and Thursday and Friday. Yes. Sorry, guys. And for those of you that don't know, The reason for these price action reviews is we do them where there is high probability news events, which means just high impact news, right? So if ever you're wondering, you can find them there. You guys have a great night. Good luck if you're trading today. If not, we'll see each other on Tuesday night for our first peer review of the week. What happened to the webcam, by the way? Don't know if you remember, but the sound kept coming back and off and on and off and on. And then you would hear the sound coming out of me talking, and then the stream also shared my voice. I didn't like it very much. That's the truth. And it was adding complexity where I did not need complexity. Let's kill this week. Let's go. I love the hype. I'm a little tired, by the way. Sorry if I don't sound too enthusiastic. I'm actually doing great. Super happy. It's just I am tired. He got a haircut? I wish. I need a haircut. Soon. Soon. You guys have a great evening. We'll see each other on Tuesday night. Bye, guys. Good luck trading.